All right, gang, happy Friday the 13th. I've got an editorial for you that is for Friday the 13th, I guess. Maybe not. I'm going to give you the editorial and allow you to comment in the comment section below. I already know what some of you are going to say. I already know. But I'm going to let you comment. I'm going to put a link to this story in the description box below. Make sure my mic is on, and let's move on. So we're going out to Rifle, Colorado, which is west of Grand Junction from quite a way. If you know Colorado and you know where Grand Junction is, then you might know where Rifle is. So out in Rifle, Colorado, I want to thank CBS 4 Colorado for this story. Thank you, CBS 4 and Brian Mass and Katie Weiss. Thank you both for this story. We're going to give an editorial to our people to let everyone across the nation know what's going on with law enforcement, particularly in Colorado. Now, didn't I just do a story on Colorado Springs shooting a young guy in the back? And everyone was like, I think he had a gun. Well, here it is again in Rifle, Colorado. Same exact situation with a little bit different. There's a different crime involved. It's a white guy this time and not a young black man. So that turns the tables a little, doesn't it? Y'all can't say, oh, it's a black guy. It's a white guy with a mustache, a Caucasian man. So, and the reason I'm throwing race out there is so to let everybody know, because we'd say, well, wonder what would happen if the guy was white. Well, he was white. Yeah. And he was an elderly or middle-aged elderly man. 57 years old. So I would make him an elderly man, I guess. I don't know. 57 ain't that old. Stop. So moving on, we're going to go to Rifle, Colorado and see what happened there. It's a similar story. I just did this for Colorado Springs. Now we're doing it for them. Video of an officer-involved shooting obtained Wednesday by CBS 4 shows at least one Rifle police officer shooting 57-year-old man twice in the back as he was jogging away from the police. That man was Alan George of Rifle, and he died soon after the shooting, which took place on August 5th of this year. What I see in the video, now they're talking to David Lane, a Denver attorney, and he says, quote, what I see in that video is first-degree murder, said David Lane, a Denver attorney representing the family of Alan George. He was 20 to 30 feet away, and they gunned him down like a dog in the streets. Law enforcement officials said police had an active arrest warrant for George for sexual exploitation of a child and pulled him over on Highway 13 over the Colorado River in the early evening hours. The video, recorded by a bystander, shows George holding a gun to his chest as he talks to a Rifle police officer. In the video, George appears to be standing on a precipice and indicates that he might jump into the river from the bridge. Although much of the audio cannot be understood, one of the police officers can be heard twice telling George to put the gun down. Twice. George eventually puts the pistol in his pocket, but as the video winds down, George steps over a highway barricade on the road and begins jogging away from the police officers and towards the town of Rifle. An officer can be seen chasing George, and 2 gunshots are heard. George crumples to the pavement and was later pronounced dead. Attorney Lane said, this is an awful killing. There was no reason for this shooting. A critical incident team and the district attorney are investigating what occurred. In a statement released after the shooting, the CIT, Critical Incident Team, wrote the suspect was originally stopped on an active warrant. He surfaced with a weapon in hand. Officers confronted him. The suspect would not comply with directives for the health, safety, and welfare of the general public, as well as the officers present. Shots were fired. 2 officers have been on leave since the shooting. Both the chief of police in Rifle and the district attorney did not return calls from CBS 4 about the shooting. George's autopsy report confirmed he was shot twice in the back. The report also showed he had no drugs or alcohol in his system at the time of the shooting. Colorado criminal records show George was arrested in 2008 for sexual exploitation of a child. That case was dismissed after he completed 4 years of probation. Raj Chauhan, a former prosecutor in Weld County, reviewed the CBS 4 videotape and concluded while the video looks bad, the officer who shot George will likely be cleared of any wrongdoing. Chauhan noted that George had been acting erratically, was armed, and his actions might justify the gunfire. Chauhan said, quote, an officer had a person who was armed and dangerous running down the street and would not stop. In that situation, the officer was probably justified in using deadly force. A person like that running down the street was almost certainly a danger to other people who are around. Attorney Lane told CBS 4 that if the rifle officer is cleared, he will likely ask the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate the case. He is also planning to file a federal civil rights lawsuit on behalf of George's family. So I've gone through the editorial. You guys heard what everyone has had to say. This Raj Chauhan, who was a former prosecutor in Weld County. Remember that, former prosecutor. That means pro-police. That means he's against criminals. That means he justifies cop behavior, good or bad. He's a prosecutor. Well, he prosecutes cops too. But how many cops actually go through criminal prosecution? Something to think about. But he's justifying this shooting. Now, it's kind of like the scales of justice. There are some good and bad and back and forth. And what I mean to say is, they're going to say this guy had a gun. He was a danger to society. He was running down the street. He was already a criminal. Those charges were dismissed after probation. I think he was being charged again, though, right? No, he had a warrant. Probably for his probation. I don't know what the warrant was. They never said what the warrant was for, did they? They just said that he was stopped for an active arrest warrant. I don't know what that was for. But so they're saying that here's this guy. He had a gun. He was a danger to society. He never aimed the gun at the cops in the video. There's a video in the story that I'm going to put in the description box below. In that link, there's a video to this story. A bystander recorded it. It might even be on YouTube. I don't know. I don't have time to look. I apologize. You guys can look. You know how to search on YouTube. But there is a video of it. The bystander's video is also in the story below. And what I'm getting at is, in the video, he never points the gun at the cops. He never aims the gun at the cops. He has the gun in his own chest, probably because he's looking at some prison time. So he's, oh my God. And then he climbs over. You see him put the gun in his pocket. Then he climbs over, and empty-handed, he's jogging down the street, and then bang, bang, he falls. So who was he a danger to? Who was he a danger to? He wasn't acting dangerously to the cops. A danger to himself. Oh, I get it. They didn't want him hurting himself later, so they just shot him. But we don't want him shooting himself later. He's a danger to himself. So we're going to take care of that. I know people are going to get on me about this, but this pisses me off. They shot an unarmed man. Okay, I'm back up. Correction, he wasn't unarmed. They shot a man in the back jogging away who had a pistol in his pocket. Jogging. Pocket. Jogging. Pocket. Jogging. Bang, bang. He wasn't pulling the gun on them. He wasn't aiming it at them. He was jogging away. There was no reason for the shooting. They could have tased him. Well, he had a gun. It was in his pocket. Jogging. Pocket. Jogging. They could have tased him. They could have hit him with rubber bullets. And then put guns on him to see if he would comply or if he would, There were a lot of things they could have done. No, we're just going to kill him. That way he won't shoot anybody else. He wasn't going to shoot anybody anyway. He had the gun on his own chest. Never aimed the gun at the cops. So don't give me that, well, he had a gun, he was a danger, bull crap. That's just a justification to shoot a man in the back who was running away while his gun was in his pocket, jogging. Pocket, jogging. I want to know what you guys think. I can't belabor this anymore. I'm sorry. I'm just stretching it out. But I really am trying to hammer it into you guys what happened. A man who had a pistol in his pocket was jogging, not even sprinting. He was jogging away from the police on a bridge over a river. Could have put police cars at the other side. Police cars at this side. Now you're trapped on the bridge. If he jumped in the river, he's an adult. He can make that choice. At least they wouldn't have shot him in the back running away. Well, he would have got away, man. I don't know. That Colorado River's rough. News Now Ukaipa letting you know what's going on across your nation with law enforcement everywhere. Thank you, guys. I may have an update for you on something, but we'll get back to that. That's just a little teaser. Thank you guys for watching. Don't go away or you might miss something later this year. I think you are going to miss something coming in October. Let's just put it that way. In October, I've got something for you. So if you unsubscribe now, you're going to miss it in October. Talk to you guys later. Happy Friday the 13th.